Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boscheman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at round 2. We've made it through the first eclipse, the solar eclipse, and now we're gearing up for the full moon lunar eclipse that's going to be occurring on October 28th or 29th, depending on where you live within the world. So we're going to take a closer look at each life path number and what could be in store for the next storyline over the next 6 months from this eclipse that could be unfolding for you personally. This, of course, is a general reading. So if you would like a personalized reading to get a better understanding of how your own personal numerology plays into the aspects of your life, then I'd love to take a look. You can work with me one-on-one. My information is in the description box below to book some time. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look. So how's everyone doing out there? How was that solar eclipse for you all? This lunar eclipse, I think, is going to be a little bit more gentle in the way that it sort of brings things in and sort of allows it to unfold. That solar eclipse was a little bit more intense and held very intense energies that we'll also be working with over the next 6 months. So these will kind of be sort of an interplay, right? They'll be working together in tandem. But this will kind of give you an idea of another sort of perspective or viewpoint as far as another dose of energies that we'll be working with pretty significantly over the next 6 months to a year, depending. So let's go ahead and take a look at each life path number forecast for this full moon lunar eclipse. Life path number 5. So for you all, this lunar eclipse is highlighting the energies of the 5 and the 6. So you're working with your own energies at this eclipse, but you're also heavily working with the energies of the 6. So I do think that there is the possibility that there will be a huge emphasis on your sort of closer relationships. So family, very close friends, romantic partnerships, your home life, sort of like the things closest to your heart. You could see a lot coming in around that, especially if there's any relationship that needs your attention, that needs like when 6 energy comes in, especially in a long cycle, and when an eclipse happens, it's a longer cycle, right? So it's over the next 6 months to a year or so. So there's definitely some things that could come to the surface around this time that need to be dealt with. So if there's anything you've been sweeping under the carpet, this is going to bring it out into light. This is going to brings to the surface anything that's not at the vibration of love or truth or honesty. And it sort of forces us or confronts us with what it is that we need to deal with, clean it up, get it to a higher octave. And possibly through that process, have those more difficult conversations. And it may lead to, ending something or a relationship ending or something like that. But it doesn't have to be done in a, with animosity or in drama or any of those things. It can be done in love and honesty. And usually if a relationship is toxic or not healthy or, not working for one person, it's not working for all involved. Because there's not an equal exchange of energy there. So I do think for you all 5s, you could see your relationships come into the hot seat. Or again, your home life, your community, your close friends. So friendships could be coming in around this time to be looked at to see where is there this sort of lack of an equal exchange of energy. Where is one person giving more than the other person? Where is one person taking more? Where is it that we're not being honest with ourselves and honest with others in what we need, how we feel, what we want? You could see a lot of that coming up now, that's sort of pushing you to really be honest with yourself. Take a closer look at your relationships. Are you feeling depleted when you're with these people, or are you feeling filled up, right? Does it feel like an obligation to have an exchange with these individuals? Or does it feel like, again, an equal exchange of energy? So you could see this come up quite a bit. And it doesn't just have to be close-knit family, friends, romantic partnerships, your home life, but 6 energy typically is going to bring the focus in on those areas. So you could see that, some conversations need to be had, and probably more than likely uncomfortable conversations. But at the end of the day, it's really pushing you to be very honest with what you want, what you need, and how you feel, and communicating that to the other person. And then it's up to them to decide whether they can show up in that way or not. And if they can't, then it allows for the two of you to dissolve something that wasn't working anyway, right? Because ultimately, the 6 is going to want an equal exchange of energy. It's going to want harmony, peace, balance, love, all those things, and honesty. So you could see some things bubble to the surface over the next 6 months, and I would say avoidance isn't going to solve anything with this. So face it head on. Just, have those difficult conversations. Sit down and really think about what it is that you want. And is the, relationships that you are currently holding, are they healthy? Do they feel good? Because you can have connectivity without being in a relationship with someone. And so you just need to kind of take a look at that and see. It was interesting because you all got moth energy, and moth energy a lot of times can depict death, metaphorically. And so it's kind of this energy where something needs to end, something needs to close out or be healed, right? The end of suffering, the end of whatever the case may be. And so there may be something here that needs to, there needs to be a conversation about, and then it needs to be closed out in some way, whatever that looks like, healed and then moved on from, for the highest good of all involved. There's also this energy with moths, because if you think about moths, they will fly to any light. And sometimes that light is a fire, and they will get burned and they will die. And so I would say, as this translates to relationships or to the 6 energy for you all, just be sure that the light that you're flying towards, or that you're sort of bathing in, is true light and not something that is slowly burning you, right? So if you're constantly giving and constantly showing up and constantly obligating yourself or burdening yourself to please others or to show up in a way that suits others, or if you're constantly showing up in an overly independent way and not giving of yourself, not being vulnerable, not being open, not sharing the responsibilities, not et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, then you're following a false light, right? And it's slowly diminishing your light. And so you just want to make sure that what you're sort of participating in and immersing yourself in is truly for your highest good and the highest good of others. So I do think you could see a lot of that coming in around relationships and home life. The other thing is, for some of you, this could bring in big changes for where you live. So you could quite literally be moving around this time, changing communities, finding new friends, meeting new people. For some of you, this has the potential, a very strong potential, to bring in a lifelong partner or a soulmate connection, someone who will be in your life for quite some time. And if you're single, this is a great time to meet your partner or meet a partner, right? Not necessarily going out looking for somebody, but because I don't know, I'm one of those believers that's like, there's a lot that's sort of faded. So when it comes to that, and you can't kind of force it or speed that process up, the people will enter when it's time. But, it makes it much easier when you're out into the world, put yourself out there type thing. But there's a very strong possibility, especially under an eclipse, that you could, over the next 6 months, see someone enter who's going to have a significant impact in your life, significant. So, until that happens, this could be a point where you're really getting serious with yourself, sitting down and getting serious with yourself about what is it that you want? What is it that you need to sort of clean up so that you're prepared or ready for when that person enters? So beautiful energy, lots of themes around love, how you show up to love, how you receive love. connections, communication, honesty, all of those things. So this can be a vulnerable time for you. This can be a vulnerable period where you're asked to be more vulnerable and to sort of respect and honor the vulnerability of others and hold space for that as well. And so there could be some lessons involved with that and how to do that and how to show up in that way. Because a lot of times with 5 energy, not always, but a lot of times with 5 energy, it is a very independent energy, and it can be kind of hard to settle down or, meet that person who doesn't sort of take your freedom away in a sense. And so, but you won't know until you meet the person and you act authentically yourself, right? Because they're either going to like it or not. So big energies here, 5s, big energies for you all, but beautiful at the same time. But just be open to being vulnerable and continue to be your authentic self. And just be very honest with yourself and others about what you need. No mind reading involved at this time. All right, take care, 5s. Bye for now.